You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast, where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 109.
109. I'm Ralph, a.k.a. Ralphie Rose this week.
Okay, that's what's up. Hey, Johnnie the Stallion is here, baby. Fresh off of vacation. We here, baby. We here, baby. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Instagram is Oversat the podcast. Twitter is Oversat podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And check out our website, oversatthepod.com. There's a new blog out written by Brittany Jones, Confessions of a Pop Culture Freak. So make sure you check out the website because that is there as well.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I am the Mind of Rap on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU.
I'm going to just get this up the way. I got nothing. Johnny, how was your week? How was your week, my pal? How did everything go for you?
First of all, thank you for holding down the topic for the week. Because your mans was MIA. You feel me? Look, hey, I was on vacation last week.
Yeah.
I was in Cancun, kicking it, man. It started out a little rough. Like, I got to my resort, the one that I booked.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the reservation was canceled. They didn't even let us through the gate, but I know. Listen, and it was about 90, humid. Stood outside the resort for like 3 hours trying to figure shit out.
Yo!
Hey, don't never use vacations to go. Never use that. Yeah, it was crazy. But we did get to another resort, and I think it turned out to be better than the
what you booked. Yeah.
So yeah,
hold on, wait. I'm talking about. so where does the disconnect? Yeah. Where does the disconnect go? And then Johnny got bread. So where does the money for the first resort go? And then usually niggas gotta wait 7 to 10 business days to get that back. And then you go book another joint out of town.
All right,
talk about the flex.
Let's
flex. Let's talk about the flex.
Okay. So this is what happened. Right? Come to find out. So the website that was used was called Vacations to Go.
Okay.
Wasn't able to actually book through the website. We had to call the agent. So we called the agent, and I guess the agency, they use American Airlines Vacations.
Okay.
So like that's how everything was booked.
Okay.
But we later found out that the American Airline vacation travel thingy, their contract was ended with the resort that we booked, so they never got the money. Like our reservation was never even made.
Oh.
But I feel like that was the agent, like she dropped the ball on that because she should have verified that,
Yeah.
So since that money was never used, it just got applied to another resort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, look. He was ready. He was ready.
Wait, my guy. You got there, then booked one the same day? Oh, okay. Let's talk about it.
So we was already there. We just needed somewhere to stay. But
another B.
Fam, I was ready to come back to the crib. I was looking for flights back home, but turned out great.
Yeah.
I was kicking it.
That's what's up, man.
I miss doing stuff like this because just being in those types of environments reminds me how big the world is. Like I had a conversation with somebody from Mississippi, thick, heavy accent. We kicking it.
Yeah. 10
minutes later, I'm talking to somebody from London. Like that type of shit. Like I miss that type of stuff. It was great.
Yeah. I'm still
on vacation mode.
Okay.
It's lit. I'm so happy tomorrow's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely.
On the way back though, had a layover in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the BBLs was out, bro. Listen. I wasn't able to easily spot like women like that's recovering. But once it was pointed out to me, they was all throughout the airport. Like couldn't even sit in the seat, kneeling down. No, like real shit, kneeling over the seat. Hey, you know,
that fix a flat booty, man.
And I'm thinking like, how you gonna sit on a plane? But it was explained to me that they have like these like airplane donuts that you sit on to ease the pressure.
Look, if they make accommodations for me, you know, when I was, you know, I don't know what I'm like when I get in an airplane seat now, but you know, they got this stendo joint. Hey, you know, I'm pretty sure they can make an accommodation for somebody that, you know, got that.
No, I'm talking. So because I guess the ass meat is still fragile, like you can't sit directly on it.
They going down to Miami to get the joint.
But people was coming back to St. Louis after getting it done and couldn't sit in the airport seating.
I love it though. I really do.
The BBLs is out, especially on Memorial Day weekend. Like that shit is hilarious.
I guess my man had a special going.
Maybe.
Like
turn up Dr. Miami.
Right, I purchased some, you know, furniture over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like the quote unquote Memorial Day sale. So I guess, you know, everybody, they ain't the only person that have Memorial Day sale. You know what I'm saying?
Memorial Day sale,
30% off. 30% off.
Each cheek 15%. I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
The math is math.
Listen,
right
man.
You know
hey, shout out to Dr. Miami. Shout out to the BBLs.
Yeah, we cut it up today.
That's crazy.
What we doing, bro? Off the dome? You got it?
I'll take it.
Okay, cool.
All right, so again, fresh off vacation, right? Again, I missed it. I miss being on vacation. I miss all of the amenities. I miss like all inclusiveness. I miss everything. Yeah. So I just got to thinking, what are your must-have amenities when you go on vacation? Give me like maybe one or two must-have amenities.
Like you talking about like if I stay someplace?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I need some type of free food. Like, I mean, give me a intercontinental something. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You know, a muffin or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, it ain't gotta be full course eggs and all that shit because everybody don't know how to cook that stuff, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
But it depends on where you stay though too. But if I'm at an all inclusive, I mean, now let's keep it a big. You know, all inclusive ain't necessarily the best. You know, like you get all alcohol and all the food, but that ain't necessarily the stuff that you be wanting all the time. Like, or you get the bottle of alcohol, but you know, as long as I get like some type of dining experience and maybe a decent bar, you know what I'm saying? I can live with everything else, like, cause I haven't gotten to the point where I want to work out on vacation, so I don't really care what your fitness is. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care about that.
I feel that. That's what's up. For me, 100% a beach where I can actually get into the water. Cause the beach the resort I stayed at, like the seaweed was stacked so high on the beach you couldn't get past it to get in the water. That was like my only downside.
Gotcha.
So definitely that. And honestly, going forward, I'm gonna need like a tennis court or something. Like I didn't know the resort I stayed at had a tennis court until I was looking at like the little itinerary for the day.
Well, I mean, you didn't know you were staying there.
Also that.
Okay.
Also that. Damn, I wonder if anyway. But it had a tennis court, and they had like different tennis activities each day at 9 a.m. So I went a couple days and met this guy who played professionally at some point, and he's like teaching classes. And one day I went out there was nobody else, so me and him we played a set. Like it was like that was great. Being able
that's a different type of experience.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to play tennis in like any city or country that I go to from now on, because that was dope.
Okay, I feel
that was dope.
Yeah, I'm the bare necessities, like your food and your alcohol gotta be on point.
But the dining experience, I feel that. Like, I need, like, I know during the day you got buffets and you got the little spots you could go, but for dinner I need an experience. Yeah. I need that. So no, I feel you on that one.
Exactly. No, dope question. But let me say this for my Off the Dome. We're gonna go into music, right? Okay. Now, if you're an artist or a rapper, I'm just gonna say rapper per se, because I think I want to know where this question is going. If you could arrange like your perfect track, you know what I'm saying? Like how, what would the beat be like? Like what would be the subject matter? Like what would it be?
Oh, this is interesting. This is this is something that I think about like just at random times, right?
I know.
And my answer changes like as times change. Like today, I feel like I would want a drill beat. Now, normally on drill beats, you know, it's real tough, real hardcore. But I remember, like, I saw somebody mash up Michael Jackson over a drill beat, and I thought that shit was perfect. If I could get a Michael Jackson style verse and hook, and then get me a drill verse, I think that would be the perfect song today. Like, that would be hard. Now the subject matter,
I mean, it is what it is.
I feel like I don't know if I've heard a song geared towards women on a drill beat yet. Now maybe it's out there, but I haven't heard it. But like,
I mean, well, Pop got stuff like that, so I wouldn't say that. But like, I don't know. Like, I mean, are you talking about like hard nose? Like, I mean, if a drill artist makes a chick song, that's different. But if you're talking about like a chick that raps drill music.
No. I mean like a man rapping to a woman. Like,
oh no, Pop got them.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah. See, I didn't know.
He got those. Okay. My answer to this question is actually kind of ambitious. I don't know how it could ever happen. Like, you have to be like a top tier artist to even try to pull this off, but you wouldn't know where you are when you start your career. But this is like me saying, like, I would have a 3-verse song. It's like a letter to my younger self. Like, the younger version of myself passes it to me as the middle version of my career, and then toward the tail end, or toward like my adult, like, you know, when I'm 30-ish or 40, you know what I'm saying?
So like, it's the younger you writing a letter to the older you.
Yeah, kind of answering questions as much as you possibly can. You can't, but I just wonder how would that work? Because, you know, rappers always have these verses from when they first started that they never use. Like, in the height of their career, they never use. Yeah. And then, like, how can I piece that together in my latter years of rapping?
I like that. That's hard.
But you gotta understand that you gotta be around for a while.
That's true.
And then, you know, who has the better verse? The young hungry you, the height of popularity you, or the person that has the most success?
That's a good question. Who do you think would? And not saying you specifically, but just in general, like,
it'll probably always be the middle person.
You think so?
Yeah, I think because the middle person is probably the height of you, is the best version of you, quote unquote. And then the person that, you know, you on the end is always gonna be more refined, and you probably have a lot of introspection, but they don't necessarily mean it's the best person.
Yeah, that's true.
And then your young hungry you is it's not polished. You just rapping. Okay,
I like that. Cause I was gonna say the oldest version of you, because
the oldest version should son everybody on the track. It should,
and that's what I'm thinking. Like, you have the most experience. You know the missteps you took as your youngest self and at the height of your popularity. So you should be able to bridge all of that together and like talk to yourself. Like,
pretty much.
Yeah. No, I like that.
But you gotta know. Like, how do you know how good you're gonna be? You know what I'm saying?
Also true.
For you to do something like that.
Also true. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, man. But now let's get to that. Was off the dome. If you can arrange a perfect rap track, what would it be? What would be subject matter? What would it be? You know, all that great stuff.
Yeah, and what are your must-have vacation amenities whenever you go on vacation? Let us know.
Yes, sir. Man, we got a few topics on the OS News docket this week. First, you know, we were talking about producing tracks, but let's talk about these super producers going bad at a rematch in VERZUZ. Actually going down today. Swizz Beatz and Timbaland. Yeah. The owners and curators of the VERZUZ platform are squaring off again in the rematch. I don't know if it's highly anticipated, but definitely
I heard nobody talk about it.
But
not a soul.
Johnny, your thoughts?
Honestly, I don't recall seeing most of the first one between them two. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I feel like on this VERZUZ stage, it should be much better.
Yeah, of course.
And from what I remember, Timbaland got mopped up. So he had plenty of time to refine his playlist. It's been 2 years since they did it. Them two did it, like 2 or 3 years since they did it. So
the very, very first.
Yeah, like since them two did it the first time.
Yeah, because they did it before quarantine. So
right. So, hey, Timbaland, you had time to refresh yourself. You know, we done seen like 20 or 30 different verses. You know, you should know what to do now, because Swizz coming for you.
Yeah, it's crazy because like we say, like Swizz I think Swizz has the better, rap tracks. Timbaland has the better overall package. So, I mean, yeah, it's a rematch, but I'm not excited to see this.
This type of versus environment is not for producers, I don't think.
No. And then it's like, okay, how many guest people are you going to bring out? Like, because that's what we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Like, I know Timbaland can bring out Missy, maybe even a Genuine. Bubba Sparks ain't doing that these days. He can come out and do something. I'm saying, like one of those. But Swizz can pull out a few people as well, too. Yeah. But I'm not sure where,
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually watch this. Because I saw the announcement. I was like, okay. I never would have guessed that they would do a rematch.
Yeah.
But I wasn't on social media that much last week, but when I was, I didn't see anybody talking about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like it is what it is. Like, we'll tune in. Like, people will tune in. Like, if I have, if I'm not going to watch this in real time, I'll catch the highlights. I'll be honest. Like, I'm not, because it's happened already. I mean, they're producers, and there are a million songs that they didn't play. And then, it's cool. Like, I'm not overly excited about this. It's cool that it's happening, but I'm just not, sharing that level of enthusiasm. And then honestly, most of these, any rematch that you could have put at me, like we had our predictions about that. We were both wrong, but that's cool too. But it's not like we were excited to see those either.
Right. And I wonder if this is going to be a song or a beat versus, like, because that makes a difference. If it's a song versus, I might edge slightly toward Timbaland more. But if we doing strictly beats, then I think I'm gonna go with Swizz, and that's a whole. And maybe they do, and this is just me speculating, but maybe they do 10 songs and then 10 beats. Like, I don't know. They have the versatility.
They have the versatility, and they have well enough to catalog to do it.
Yeah, which is crazy because since this is coming out tomorrow, like, we talking in hindsight.
Right.
The whole shit might be wrong. I don't know. We'll see. Right. Man, shout out to Timbaland and Swizz, man. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen after this, though, because we're still waiting. Like, I mean, obviously we got Soulja Boy and Bow Wow, and I think Swizz has come out and confirmed it, but it's just the rest. Like, it's supposed to be a whole lineup, and we haven't really heard anything.
Got you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember a few months ago they put out the schedule, but a lot of the names were blurred out.
Yeah, so they're still scrambling to get this together.
Oh, yeah. They wait. They're waiting for people to confirm, probably. Like, they got the names, they just waiting on people to say, yeah, I'll do it.
Right.
But yeah.
Man, let's get to this new music segment. We got a new few songs, new few albums, tracks, and things that have released. But since we were talking about Swizz Beats, let's talk about the posthumous release from DMX, the God, rap god. Earl Simmons dropped his album, Exodus, on Friday.
Yeah.
Johnny, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet, just because it came out Friday and I got back Friday. But from what I heard, the first few tracks sounds decent. Now, what I will say is on the songs that I did hear, it sounds like X is the feature on all these songs. Like none of this music, except for the song with Alicia Keys, and that's just because Alicia Keys is on the hook, sounds like his song. And did any of these verses sound unfinished to you? Like the way that the way that he laid down the vocals or anything? Like, did any of it sound unfinished?
Nah.
Okay.
He put his best foot forward on this one.
Got you. But I mean, from what I've heard so far, I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the music, but it just doesn't seem like this is an X album yet.
No. This almost reminds me of the Biggie Duets album because it's a lot of features, and it's more so feeling like X is just the feature on his own album. Yeah. Now, if this collection of songs, like, am I saying is it bad? No, it's not bad. This is not X from 2001. So I have a level of leniency to X because he hasn't exercised that rap muscle as much as we would like for him to do, because he has a song, matter of fact, it's the theme for Godfather in Harlem. It's him, Rick Ross, and Swizz Beatz produced it. It should have just been Rick Ross and Swizz. But, like, it's okay for, X to be outside and be happy, but, these verses be, alright. And then, for the most part, he seems to be the feature on his song, but he doesn't have the best verse. I'm not saying people just wash him up, but it just seems like these are better suited for the other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like you got a track with Jay-Z, Nas, and X. Like you would think that would blow the world up. Nobody's really talking about Bath Sauce. Like they're talking about it, but it's not like Sorry Not Sorry got more attention.
Which is crazy because this song with X is much better than that other song.
I agree.
Both Jay and Nas, specifically Nas, floated on this shit. And X's flow was dope too. Like
I agree.
Like this was that was a fire song.
I agree. But it's just nobody cares about it either.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
And that's why the culture disappoints me sometimes. It's like that people were so excited when Jay and Nas were on the same track on the Cali album, like when the track list dropped and the song came out and it was just okay. Yeah. But now that we got the collab with Jay and Nas that we should have got, nobody's really talking about it. Like that's nuts to me.
Brandon.
Man, this shit is crazy. Now, what I do know is that song is gonna stay in my rotation. Like, I don't know what other songs because I haven't gone through the whole album, but that song is gonna stay in rotation. Yeah, that's a fire song.
Like, I don't think it's like any like trash on here. If I'm being honest too. Yeah. Like, I listened to the whole album this morning, but for the sake of conversation, I like the song with Bono. I thought it was dope.
I did. Yeah, I got to.
I thought that was dope. Hood Blues with the Griselda guys. It was good until X started rapping. To be honest. The song with Snoop. It's interesting. Like it's on some, you know, I wanna love you, you know, all on the floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's on some, you know, some aggressive love making type shit. And X just sound weird saying this shit right now. It sounds nasty coming from X. Like that's hilarious. And then Walking in the Rain, like I think that was another dope track. And then Letter, like I'll be completely honest. Letter to My Son fucked me up. Because a lot of what you hear and throughout this album is a lot of redemption for X. Like when you hear his verses, you hear him rap about the things that he's been through and the things that he's, you know, ultimately like I guess like sorry for. Like, you know, it's like I'm just getting this off of me. Yeah. And the letter to the son was like a letter to I think his oldest son. If forgive me if I'm wrong, listen to it one time. But it's just like, damn, bro, like this is the type of track you make on your last album. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, like that's you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it kind of gave me some chills, man. So I mean, if this is X's swan song or his last, you know, obviously his last album, I think that is decent. I don't think it's trash. A lot of the features, a lot of the things saved this album from being as worse as it could have been, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. So what did you think about the production on the album?
Let me tell you. Yeah, Swizz isn't the best rap producer to me. Yeah, like those beats are him the best. The beats you can throw at me and say, "Oh, Swizz killed on this." Yeah, that was 12 years ago. Man. I'm talking about right now. Like Swizz uses a lot of the same drums, and you hear them. Like you hear, like I mean, most producers have their thing, but I think he stayed into a certain pocket. Yeah, and it's just like I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even that type of guy when it comes to like beats, but it's like if it's that apparent, it's just like it's limited. But I'm not sure what X wanted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know what I thought about though? Do you remember the Michael Jackson album Escape, the one that Timbaland did? So those vocals were done, and Timbaland just threw new beats over them. I feel like that's kind of what, at least to me, that's what sounds like what happened on this album. Like the vocals may have been done, maybe the beats were almost finished, and he just threw beats over them. I don't know, but that's what it sounded like to me. And the first song on the album with the locks, did you notice that sample? What song it was? That's Joe Budden and Joel Ortiz Serious off Rage of the Machine album. Oh, yeah, it's a sample. It's a sample of that beat. So I was like, damn, this sounds familiar. And then it clicked. So yeah, shout out to Swizz, DMX, all the features on the album. R.I.P. DMX. And rest in peace, yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna finish the album because I liked what I heard so far.
Yeah, I mean, I would say this is not a bad. It's like the songs aren't like just terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that he saved by a lot of these features. That's a lot. Being honest. Yeah. Being honest, but now salute like you said, rest in peace to DMX though. But next on the docket, man, we got our favorite new rapper, Dominique Omari Jones, making headlines, man. Lil Baby just out here, man. It's he's actually, we didn't discuss this last week. I'm upset that we didn't. He's on the lead track to Space Jam 2: A New Legacy. I guess you can say an anticipated sequel. Yeah. But
nobody's
Lil Baby and the king, the god, Kirk Franklin, have collaborated with Just Blaze, of all people, to give us We Win. Johnny, do you have any thoughts on this track?
Fam, I didn't know I needed this. I'm not gonna lie. Like, first of all, Just Blaze this song. Mm-hmm. Like, the production is fire. Has Kirk Franklin ever hosted a mixtape? No. I feel like that's next. I feel like it needs to happen. Hearing Kirk Franklin say, Blaze, we got one, or whatever he said, I can't, you got, whatever he said, damn it. Yes, I need that. And Lil Baby just, listen, man, Lil Baby has been my favorite new rapper for a minute here. And he's continuing to do so. Yeah. Like, this was a really good song. Yeah, it is. I think people anticipate, well, at least I thought it was going to be a gospel song because Kirk Franklin was there, but it's not. It's a rap song with... It's
inspirational.
Yeah.
With gospel lyrics and probably a gospel sample.
Yeah.
I mean, with gospel, like vocals, I would say.
Yeah. And you know, you undefeated when you could throw a choir in your song, so... Yeah. This is a really good song. I enjoyed it. Yeah, man. It's probably gonna stay in rotation too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Kirk Franklin, man. That's all I got, man. Like I've been singing Lil Baby's praises, but you know, I always sprinkle in Kirk Franklin here and there on this podcast. But you know, there's nothing you can say about it.
Right. Wait, did he say you crazy for this, Just Blaze? I think that's what he said.
Well, you know, Kirk been on that. You know what I'm saying? Like he been on that type of time. He just ain't working with no rap producers.
I mean, you're right.
He been on that type of time. Yeah. That's why this is so hilarious. But it's just like, I never seen, you know, Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin. This is the type of shit that DJ Khaled's will be doing.
Right, exactly. Like, I want to know, I know LeBron ain't
like, who put this together?
Like, I want to know. Somebody.
And where they find Just Blaze at? Because Just Blaze been chilling. Like, he been like on some DJ stuff. He been chilling.
Yeah. This is great.
So, I'm like, and this shows you what Lil Baby sounds like when he has like a top tier producer. Not no slight.
That's true.
Excuse me, to who he's been working with. I'm not at all familiar with the producers that he's worked with. That's but true. They do know his pockets, so it's, you know, it always works. Yeah. But just to see what a Lil Baby would do with a more polished producer, you know what I'm saying?
Because there is a difference. Like like the new Lils, like they do have their own specific sound when it comes to production, which is cool. Yeah. But when you get with these top tier producers, it's different. Yeah. Or you want to be able to make that leap. Because I mean, I kind of felt the same way about Griselda. Like Griselda, they had their own specific sound as well. But you know, they got Benny got with Hit Boy. Yeah. Conway's new album, the production stepped up on that a little bit as well. And I feel like they've been able to make that leap, make that crossover. So that's dope. So we'll at some point we'll see what Benny does with the Drake. I know we've been talking about it a little bit in the last few episodes, but I'm kind of anticipating that now. Right. I want to know what it sounds like. Right. So
now, really quick on this, did you listen to Eminem's new song? Did you know he had a new song?
I did not.
Okay.
Wait, did it just come out recently?
Mm-hmm. Like on Friday.
Oh no, I didn't even know.
It's the Killer remix with Jack Harlow and Cordae. The craziest.
Wait a minute.
Right. The craziest collab, because you didn't see that one coming. Like, where did Eminem find Jack Harlow and Cordae? Now I fuck with Cordae and I fuck with Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow had a very solid project that we didn't talk about enough last year. Because it came out like fourth quarter, like toward the tail end of the year. Gotcha. And Cordae dropped a 4-pack that I didn't talk about at all this year, but Cordae.
Hey, he cooked.
Cordae is nice, man. He dropped that YB.
Yeah, it went crazy.
It went crazy. I was like, okay, cool. But this song, I listened to it. I didn't have any expectations. I just saw Eminem. I was like, for the sake of the conversation, just for the pod, let me listen to it. I actually fuck with it. It's a swag song. Like, Eminem is just swagging. Thank you, Israel. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Thank you for not trying to mumble like Porky Pig. We know you can fit syllables in a minute. Like, we know how you can rap. Okay, cool, yeah, whatever. Rap, just do some fun shit. This was fun. Like Jack Harlow and Cordae. Like,
I need to listen to this. this.
Yes.
Damn, I wish you would have sent it to me.
I found it like early. Like I was just like, oh, Eminem. Okay, let me check it out. I was like, oh.
I never go to the Explore page on Apple Music. Mm-hmm. I need to start doing that shit.
Oh yeah, I check it weekly.
I'm starting doing that shit too. I did see Young and May put out a new single. Mm-hmm. It's over a drill beat, and like I like Young and May. Mm-hmm. Like her style of rapping is somewhat unconventional, no matter what type of beat she's on. Yeah. And it was the same way over this drill beat. The song is called Hennied Up. She love Hennessy. Yeah. And I fuck with it. Like I fuck with it. So shout out to Young and May.
Yeah, I saw that project. I haven't listened to it just yet. I listened to the YG and Mozzie project. There are a few songs on there. I like mostly like the feature stuff. Like they have a song with Young and May that I fuck with. They got a song with Blast, an LA artist I just got hip to. Okay. He's really, really dope too. Like he's more on some like those alternative hip hop guys. Mm-hmm. Like those, the Buddies, the Blast, like you just you don't necessarily go to them for bars and you necessarily don't go to them for singing. Like you know what I'm saying? It's just one of them. It's just one of them vibe artists. So yeah. Dope.
And since we on music, this album came out a few weeks ago, and I'm tripping because I've been listening to it. Young Deuces, All I Ever Wanted Was an Opportunity.
Shout out to Deuces.
Yeah, out of Milwaukee. Hey, this is a great album. And first of all, his intro was hard, and my favorite song off of here is Same Old Shit, and my man's is talking like. Deuces is talking on this album, so I definitely wanted to shout him out because I meant to do that a few weeks ago and just slipped my mind. So All I Ever Wanted Was an Opportunity by Young Deuces. That's on all streaming platforms, so make sure y'all check that out too, man. So what we got? Is any more music?
No, not stuff here and there, but we ain't gotta talk about it.
Still bumping at J. Cole too, just so you know. That shit is not leaving rotation at all. That
goes without saying.
Yeah.
That goes without saying for me. We ain't got to discuss that. Jeremy. But let's talk about the BET Awards. The BET Awards 2021 nominations have come out. I think the show usually airs in June, so damn, that's kind of soon, right? Usually it does air in June. I didn't check the date on when it's actually supposed to drop, but they do have their nominations out. Mm-hmm. We got a few categories that we're going to discuss, but I'll give you the full list of just what the categories are. We have Album of the Year, we have Best Collaboration, we have Best R&B/Pop Female Artist, we have Best Male R&B and Pop Artist, we have Best New Artist, Best Group, Best Female Hip Hop Artist, Best Male Hip Hop Artist, the Bobby Jones Gospel Award, BET Her Award, Best International Award Viewers Choice, Video of the Year, Video Director of the Year, Best Movie, Best Actress, Best Actor, Youngsters Award.
Hella
categories. And I think it's one that's just not loading.
Oh, Best Movie?
Yeah, Best Movie and Sportsman of the Year Award and Sportswoman of the Year Award. So. Got a few here, but we talk about every other award show. We talk about the Oscars, we talk about the Grammys, we talk about AMAs, Billboard, all that other shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about who celebrates us. Let's celebrate who celebrates us. Let's see what we got here. Let's we got Album of the Year. That category has The Weeknd, After Hours, The Baby, Blame It on Baby, Megan Thee Stallion, Good News, Jasmine Sullivan, Hotels, Noms with King's Disease, and Chloe Hollywood, Ungodly Hour. Wow. What do you think about that?
I guess I'm not mad at these nominees. You know what I realized, like going through all of the categories and especially this one, like I don't see any Griselda on here. Like that as a group, as individuals, like they need to be nominated for something. I don't like Album of the Year. Who Made the Sunshine was fire. What was Burden of Proof? Those two should be nominated. Should be in the running for Album of the Year. Along with like you don't have to take nobody out, but they should definitely be included. But for who we have for this specific category, man, I'm not really sure. I mean, I guess I would go with either. I guess Hotels was dope. And King's Disease out of this list. Did anybody really listen to The Weeknd's album? Like black people? For real, I'm just saying.
I'll just say I did.
Okay.
I did. But honestly, it's wildly successful. He just ranked up at the Billboard Music Awards.
Yeah.
Right? So, he had the Super Bowl performance. So this is Weeknd's year, and it's very possible that he can win, and he may not even be there.
Or any of these people gonna be there. Chloe and Holly might be there.
Becky and the baby definitely. Jasmine will be there. Nas probably won't.
Okay. Who do you think gonna win this category? Like out of the people that we have here.
Probably the Weeknd of Megan.
Which is crazy, right? Because out of the albums listed,
she has to work one. Megan clearly has to work.
The worst.
Might be the baby.
They tied for last.
They tied for last. but they lead the nominations though. Like I don't think they should win album of the year. Honestly, the album that I enjoy the most out of here is Jasmine's album.
Okay, got you.
I fuss with that heavy.
And as great of an album as it was, I think I'm taking Nas over that one. But I wouldn't be mad.
But this is not. That's the thing. It's just like it's not a hip hop category, so that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Nas got his Grammy, man. Get your ass on.
No, we not doing that. We're not gonna do that.
I'll tell that to anybody on this list. Fuck them. Jasmine Sullivan deserves some love.
Well, nah. Okay, I feel that. I'm not mad at that. So all right, some of these other categories. First of all, either Megan or the baby. Not both of them. One of them, I feel like is going to sweep all together, like every category that they're nominated in. If not, they'll probably get 4 out of the 7, at least. Yeah, I know it's trash, but
it's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
But yeah, best collaboration we can skip that. Best female pop artist, you got Beyonce, her, Jasmine, Janae, Summer, SZA. Interesting. SZA didn't have a big year. Beyonce is just there just because she's Beyonce. Her, Jasmine, I'm not sure if Janae dropped anything. And Summer I think Summer's been off for a while because she just had a baby.
And SZA didn't drop, she just dropped a song, right?
Yeah, she didn't have shit.
So,
now, in comparison to Jasmine and her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
they just be plugging the hottest names.
That's why I said Jasmine should win album of the year.
I'm not.
That's why I said that.
All right, look, we gotta have fun with this. So, best movie: Coming to America, Judas and the Black Messiah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, One Night in Miami, Soul, The United States versus Billie Holiday. Who do you think should take it?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Got you.
Easily.
Got you. I still haven't seen that or Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Ma Rainey, like. I just don't really like when plays are adapted to when screenplays like plays are adapted to movies. I really don't like those type of movies because it's limited scenes. It's more like you really got to focus on the acting, and the acting has to be up there. And the acting is up there. I just
Yeah. Best actress we got Andra Day, Angela Bassett, Issa Rae, Jurnee Smollett, Viola Davis, and Zendaya. Now this is actually a stat category because all of these women have had great, the past 12 months as far as acting goes. So I'm not, this could really go.
What was Angela Bassett in this baby?
Damn, what was she in? Now I'm drawing a blank, of course you asked.
No, I don't think she did nothing. That's why I asked.
Right, one of the Marvel movies out. She
right, I don't think Jeremy had nothing this year.
She was in Lovecraft Country.
Oh yeah, she was in Lovecraft. Yeah.
Hold up, cause what was Angela Bassett in?
When the Legacy Awards, I'm telling you, I think they should be nominating people, man.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe she wasn't in anything. I guess in the past 12 months, cause I can't.
And then Viola. Now Viola, Ma Rainey Black Bottom, for sure.
Yeah, man. And Zendaya, she was in that Netflix movie, John David Washington. That was a great movie. Like the way it was shot, the dialogue throughout the entire movie, like the different emotions that they had to display within certain scenes, that shit was great.
Now, best actor.
Best actor.
Let's take out the rest in peace, but we know what's gonna happen here. But all the Taj, Chadwick, Damson, Daniel Kaluuya, Eddie Murphy, Lakeith Stanfield. All right, Eddie Murphy.
Get him out.
What
was Lakeith in?
Lakeith was Judas in Black Messiah.
Okay, gotcha.
Then you got Chadwick who played Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which was phenomenal. Damson, who's the lead in Snowfall. All this. He's in that show on Showtime that I haven't watched yet.
Oh, you remember the name of it?
Something about Boston. I think it's City PD or some shit.
Okay. I'm not really. Who you think she?
Well,
I'm not sure.
Well, it's honestly between Chadwick and Daniel.
Okay.
That's who it should be between.
Yeah.
Because Daniel got Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars for his performance in Black Judas.
Mm-hmm.
But Chadwick acted his ass off in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Like, stupid. So, you can't go wrong with either one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking for the sake of this award show, they may just give it to Chadwick. And there's nothing wrong with that because I feel like he did have one of the best acting performances this year.
Yeah.
So it's because he's dead award. You know what I'm saying? That's not it.
Now, let's go to Best Group just so we can show y'all how people just be making shit up.
Yep.
21 Savage and Metro Boomin.
Fire album.
Chloe and Holly.
Okay.
Chris Brown and Young Thug. City Girls. Migos. Silk Sonic. Now, Silk Sonic put out one song, fire song, but one song earlier this year. Still no album release date, so they can get out of here.
Right.
Migos literally just put out a song like 2 weeks ago, fire song, but that's all they've done recently.
Mm-hmm.
City Girls just put out a song, terrible song. Chloe and Holly did put out a decent album.
Yeah.
Chris Brown and Young Thug, I didn't even know this was a group. They put out an album song.
They put out a mixtape.
They put out a mixtape, and then you said 21 Savage and Metro Boom and shit was fire.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this should be really between 21 Savage and Metro Boomin and Chloe and Holly because these seem to be the only
Metro, and it's like, do you count like a rapper and a producer as a group?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that could be similar to a rapper and DJ, right?
Yeah.
So okay, like what we doing? They just be plugging people. Like again, Griselda should be nominated here. Like if we just pulling people, Griselda didn't put out a joint out like a Griselda album. They put out individual joints, but they are a group and
Griselda just doesn't have a mainstream appeal.
Man,
so why would we put them there?
Man.
I mean, they'll go on BET Hip Hop Awards, but they ain't going right here. This is BET.
That's trash. It's still trash. I hear what you're saying, but it's trash. But yeah, I ain't really got shit else, man.
Best new artist. I want to talk about this.
Let's do it.
Coy Leray, who's Benzino's daughter. I find that high.
Wait, what? Speak English.
Coy Leray,
no, what you
who's
say?
Benzino's daughter.
Oh, Benzino. Okay, I'm sorry.
Your ass.
And then
Coy Leray. I speak like this every week. Coy Leray, who's Benzino's daughter, which I find weird. Flo Milli, Giveon, Jack Harlow, Latto, and Pooh Shiesty. Now, just off the strip, no racism here, but Jack Harlow should not win. Coy Leray has one song, so get her out of here. Flo Milli, not really. I can't speak on Flo Milli. I've heard good things, but I just haven't.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I've heard like verses here and there.
Yeah. Latto, cool. Shiesty, I eat cool, but. The thing is, Jack Harlow has the best, Giveon.
Giveon. Is Giveon the only like R&B artist on this? Like, what kind of music does Coy Leray make?
Hip. I don't even know what to call this shit. It's just hippity hop, viral TikTok shit. That's what she made.
Out of this list, like I'm gonna have to go with Giveon. I feel like Giveon has had the strongest year out of the people listed.
Yeah, he did.
So
yeah, Jack has probably bigger than Giveon, but he's white.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's how I leave it at that.
If anybody other than Naomi Osaka wins the Sportswoman of the Year award, then we got an issue.
Who is she in there with?
I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, but Aja Wilson, Candace Parker, Clarissa Shields, Serena Williams, Skylar Diggins Smith.
Yeah. Yep. Naomi has the strongest case.
Yep. Speaking of Naomi, the French Open starts this week in Paris, and Naomi went on record saying that she's not talking to any press during the tournament. Mm-hmm. And of course, people are up in arms and shit about it, but she cited like her mental health as the reason why she doesn't want to talk to the reporters because after, like when they do their press conferences after matches, they ask like the dumbest questions. And she just doesn't want to be bothered with it. And if she has to pay fines, then she's just gonna pay her fines because she doesn't want to be bothered like that. Having to talk to people you don't want. First of all, you don't want to talk to and have them asking stupid questions after a win or a loss doesn't even matter. Like that affects how you it affects how you play going forward. So I just want to salute Naomi Osaka for taking that stand and not doing it, because a lot of the older players are saying that that's just what comes with being a tennis star. But no, like she's still young. She's still at like 23, 24. She has the right to not talk to these people if she don't want to, especially if she feels like her mental health is being affected by it. So yeah. I just want to shout out Naomi for that.
Well, yeah. I mean, press is just a big part of it. Like, I mean, she doesn't have to do anything, but I mean, if she got to pay fines, she got to pay the fines. Yeah. But that's part of the game, though. Like, losing matches can fuck up your mental health. So I don't really, you know, like, she can say that because she's Naomi Osaka. Cool, right? The mid-tier niggas cannot say that. The low-tier niggas can't say, I'm not talking to the press. No, you need to talk to the press. You need to go out there and talk to them.
That's funny.
So I'm okay.
Interesting take. I disagree, but interesting take.
No, that's part of the game. You're a superstar. Like, the media builds you up outside of your play.
But she doesn't necessarily need that, though. None of these players.
Social media eliminates that type of conversation now. But yes, older tennis players, you did have to do that.
Yeah, but why? Like, who says you have to talk to them? Like, fuck the media. Who's saying? No, I'm saying, like, why is that supposed to be the thing? I don't know. I never understood it, because when I used to watch press conferences, not only with Serena but other players as well, they always ask. It does not even the top players. Like, they just ask weird questions. Like, it's stupid, especially getting into their personal lives. And I ain't here for that.
Well, that's one person out of the media, right? You're using that argument for the whole media. All reporters don't ask stupid questions.
Oh, majority?
That's not a majority. That's one person that y'all pointing out of a room full of press people.
No. Have you watched one of these press conferences? I watched specifically for tennis, though. I don't mean like all sports.
Well, I mean, they're all the same questions. They ask you about your play, and then sometimes they do go personal. Yes, it's all the same thing. Okay. Okay. No. Like, it's part of your job, unfortunately. That's just part of it. That's just it. Individual sports, team sports, I know your athletes get sensitive. It's okay. Like, yeah, people critique your art. I get it. But that's not to say that the press is like, you know, the big bad evil people. That's what we're getting to. And it's not true. Okay. We're the media. So we're evil?
We're different.
How do you know that?
Have we ever had a conversation with somebody where they felt like they couldn't come back and talk to us?
Well, we don't get down like that. I don't ask stupid questions.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't ask stupid questions.
We don't. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying it's a blanket statement.
Okay. All right.
It's very blanketed.
Cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Cool. What we got next? My man's on his Alka-Seltzer kick.
Oh man, look, don't blame it on that. I'll challenge you any day.
That's not even where I was going. I was just saying that, you know, you clean up yourself.
Yeah, but definitely MCU stuff, Blur talk. We got the Eternals. They dropped their teaser trailer this week. I'll just go first and say that it was okay. I'm not excited about this movie. I don't care what they do. it looked kind of cheesy. But, you know, hey, we're getting into the origins of the MCU and why these people that are gods weren't around throughout everything. So, right. I read up that it's supposed to take, place after Infinity War. I mean, Endgame. So, it's just like, okay.
Like, where y'all been at?
Yeah. Johnny, what do you think, bro?
Well, it was a teaser. It's like our somewhat introduction to these individuals, showing how they actually came to Earth centuries ago, millennia ago, and their supposed places throughout history and helping move mankind forward. So I'm intrigued by that piece. And honestly, like with you being the historian that you are, I feel like when the movie comes out, I feel like you're going to enjoy it just based on the history aspect, because I feel like it'll show the different Eternals throughout history manipulating how things move forward. Now, while they weren't there for Endgame and Loki in New York and Sokovia and all this shit, I have no clue. I don't know, but we'll see.
This undoubtedly probably has one of the best lineups as far as actors goes, right?
100%.
You got Angelina Jolie, you got Salma Hayek, you got my boy that played Jon Snow. I never watched Game of Thrones, but I heard that's a big thing. I'll watch it one day. Paperboy, like you just said. So it's just like you got some big weird. Yeah. And it's just like when you see them in their costumes, I'm like, cosplay. Yeah. That's very cosplayers, bro. Like I was just like, okay.
You know, the one thing I'm looking most forward to for this movie is how it's going. I feel like this movie is going to set up other MCU movies in the future. Okay. Like, I feel like there's the potential to set up mutants. There's the potential to set up Namor the Submariner. Like, there's potential for these types of things. So I'm wondering what in the movie is going to like set up future movies.
Yeah, let's go do that. Yeah, I guess that's I think the potential. It's kind of like we watched. That's not a fair comparison, so I won't let that come out of my mouth. But it's just like, I think we're more excited for the potential of this than whatever this standalone movie will be.
Oh yeah. Like I don't, even without a main trailer, I don't need an Eternal sequel. I don't need it. I don't need it. Like, shit, I really don't need a Captain Marvel sequel, but just come.
But yeah, this is just pretty much going to set up what the MCU will be moving forward, and introducing those new elements, like you just said, definitely on the cosmic level. So it's okay. It's cool. Like I don't know.
It's not enough to tell based on the teaser. Like,
yeah, man, even reading what the Eternals are, I'm like, this shit is boring.
These are the children beings of the Celestials in the Marvel universe.
And they got evil cousins called Deviants. I was like, oh.
Which is what Thanos was. Technically.
Okay, I was like, all right. But still, they ain't no saving around. I can't even enjoy that shit. I can't even enjoy that storyline, man. They killed the best one. Okay, they killed the best one.
So no, for real, like with these next phases, like you know how phases 1 through 3 set up like the infinity side, like the infinity stones and all that. Yeah. Like, what's the equivalent to that for these next phases? Like, what's the infinity stone equivalent in phase 4, 5, and 6?
Well, that is true, and I hope that they. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I know you're not saying that it will be the same thing, because it'll be formulaic, and then we'll get
right. Yeah. No.
Like, I know that's what you're not saying. But
what's the equivalent to that?
We're not building maybe that type of story arc. Yeah, we're not doing that. But how can you make these movies connect on another level, and then when it gets to big team up movies, whether it be this, that, or third, what will it be like? What will be the next big bad overall? Like, right, that type of stuff. So, yeah. No, I understood where you're coming from. Like, I understood. I was there. But next not even the MCU doctor, but just, well, you could say MCU in a way, right? Something like that. Sony MCU, the shared universe, the shared multiverse. Right. Wait, they have announced that Kraven the Hunter, who's actually played by Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, is actually getting a movie. I forgot the actor's name, but he's playing.
Wait, that actor is playing Kraven in the Sony movies. Okay, I see what they do.
So he's playing Kraven the Hunter, which, if you may not know, that is one of Spider-Man's biggest villains. Yep. So another villain of the Spider-Verse is getting his own solo movie, maybe even an origin story.
In Sony.
So, Johnny, do you have any expectations or something like that?
Zero. Okay.
Yeah. Talk that talk.
Fam.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is not even in the Sony universe. So why are we setting this shit up? You know what's crazy? What I did read this randomly somewhere, that somehow Marvel, the MCU, and Sony are trying to make a shared connected universe with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. So like apparently, and I don't know if this is true or not, but in Spider-Man No Way Home, mm-hmm. it's supposed to like weave in and out between MCU and Sony's universe.
I mean, that actually makes sense though, because if they're bringing back all these people, which have been confirmed, it's not even like a rumor. This is confirmed. Jamie Foxx is coming back. The guy that played Dr. Octopus is coming back. Yep. I said Poos.
I was gonna let it rock. I was like,
right, yeah. But he's coming back. Now, this is a rumor too. But William Dafoe, who played Green Goblin, is coming back too. Yeah. It hasn't been confirmed, but it's a high level rumor. So, okay, you get all these people that were Sony-verse characters coming over to, a Spider-Man movie. So,
like as cool as it sounds for all of these previous Spider-Man characters to be in this upcoming movie, like I feel like it's gonna make it worse. Like I feel like Civil War was like the peak of us, like the peak of what an Avengers, non-Avengers movie could be. Mm-hmm. Like I feel like it's way too much going on in this Spider-Man No Way Home movie. Like Spider-Man not gonna be able to fight all these motherfuckers by himself. It's no way.
Absolutely not.
And apparently Doctor Strange is supposed to be in it, but it's like I feel like it's way too much going on. Mm-hmm. Like entirely too much. Mm-hmm. Even if all of these characters only have like 1 or 2 scenes, because you can't have basically the Sinister Six of the old Marvel universe in the entire No Way Home movie, because that's gonna take away from Spider-Man and whatever he got going on. Because he got to have the Peter Parker side of the movie too, with MJ and his best friend and all that type of shit.
It's secret identity being out.
Yeah,
too, so they're doing a lot.
It's way too much.
And I think that's always been my criticism. And I don't know if I ever said it out loud, but just internally maybe. Then, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yeah, y'all doing a lot, fam. It's like for
unless this movie gonna be 4 hours.
But it's like, okay. Let's scale back. Let's scale back, right? Let's think about this. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man is a huge comic book character, one of the biggest.
Yes.
He arguably has some of the best villains next to a Batman, right?
Oh yeah.
So, but all these people that fucking interesting to get a film. Like Craven's getting a film, Morbius has a film. Venom is coming with 2. Like Venom is dope, but I ain't trying. Man, look, man. After this, Spider-Man need to be fighting this dude.
Like, which is crazy because Venom is is basically a hero in the Venom movie. Yeah. So it's like, why would he even fight?
Why would he fight Spider-Man at this point?
I don't want to see no man bang. I don't want to see Morbius. I don't want to see this shit. I don't want to see it.
I'm glad you said
Craven does not need an individual movie, bro. If Spider-Man is not in that bitch, he don't need to be in it.
What is going on?
Fam, like they fucking up just like the DCEU was fucking up. They doing a lot with individual characters and not truly trying to build something. Sony let the MCU have Spider-Man, so let that shit happen. Stop making these off-brand movie characters. Yeah. Just stop. Until you somehow want to get the rights back, then you already got the blueprint from the MCU. Take that, build on it, but you're not doing it right now.
I say this: they should have never gave it to Marvel.
Yeah. Listen.
They should have never.
Yeah.
Remember the example we talked about a few weeks ago, like Bucky getting his arm detached.
Yes.
Now Marvel showing y'all what to do with a character that y'all had in y'all possession forever. And y'all don't know what to do with it. Then Marvel's like, hey, just okay. Y'all ain't gonna fully give it to us. Okay, cool. Let's just share it.
We'll share, but we gonna.
Let me show you what this. Let me show you what this thing do. And they showed you what the thing do.
And still showing you. And it's still doing it. I love it.
I'm just okay. That was the sidebar to the sidebar to the sidebar, but that definitely was.
This goes back to our conversation a few weeks ago about is the TV and movie space becoming oversaturated with superhero movies. Yep. Like I feel like we getting there. And oh man, I can't remember who this was that mentioned this, but is the superhero genre replacing the action genre movies?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm so sorry. Somebody asked that shit on social media, and I wish I remember who it was.
I know it is. It's our guys from Houston instead of down in Vegas.
Okay, yeah, man. Shout out to them because that's a valid question. That is a valid question because I feel like that's what's happening. Like, look at Fast and Furious, Fast 9. Look at what the fuck they doing. Like, motherfuckers ain't raced in 7 movies. Like, what we doing?
After Tokyo Drift,
They the pop. The Fast and Furious crew are Power Rangers now, just without the suits.
Hey man, after Tokyo Drift, they drifted away from that.
Drifting on. Hey.
That's what happened, man. I'm telling you. Thank you for going down this rabbit hole of the blurred MCU, Sony, Spider-Man, whatever we just got to talk about. We talked about a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. But no, we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. But you know, who would we be if we didn't give you some OS stuff? We usually try to come up with a main topic of sorts, just to have fun, just to initiate a conversation. We always have these debates about who would be better off in a different era, whether it be sports, whether it be music, whether it be whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So let's have fun. We're going to hop into the OS time machine and we're going to place artists in different eras. Now, I have 3 artists, and I'm going to see if Johnny agrees with me, right? Now, throughout, I have three type of artists, right? I have somebody that's more of a personal favorite that can definitely use, you know, being moved. Somebody who's one of the biggest stars right now. And then you have a legend. I have a legend. So I'll start with the person that needs to probably be moved. Okay. And that would be Wale. Right? Okay. Wale is a very interesting case. Nobody questions Wale's rapping ability. Mm-hmm. Nobody questions Wale's song-making ability. Because he can undoubtedly do both. Is Wale a star? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Definitely a star. But Wale has gotten in his own way every single time. And I think it's mainly because of a personality thing, right? Right. Social media has built artists up. Yeah. And it can take away from you too. It can build you up and it can take you down too. So I think his social media presence has undoubtedly taken away from the star power that could be, because we always talk about 3 artists, right? We talk about Drake, we talk about Cole, we talk about Kendrick. Yep. But Wale has a mix of albums that he deserves to be in the top tier. If you're looking at his discography, I think that he has a very solid discography. Word. Now he got one classic just like the rest of them got. So it's like it's not. So it's like, okay, like if that's your argument, well, he got they only got 1, 2, if you want to be honest. But you know, I'm off that. Yeah. Back to Wale. That's a whole different. Right. Exactly. Thank you for keeping me. But I think Wale would benefit from being in. It was 2 eras that I was stuck on. I was stuck on the 80s. Right, coming out as rap was being born. Mm-hmm. Like when you have like poets like Gil Scott-Heron coming on tracks and making the revolution that would not be televised. And then you have the go-go era of the 80s that boomed, and that's where Wale is from. He's from DC. So a lot of his beats have go-go drums in them. Okay. So I think that he could benefit from being the poet that he is, because he is a poet more so than, he's an artist, but his stuff can come out very poetic. Like very poetic. 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 I love it. Woo! That's the title of this shit. Poetic. I figured out how to spell that too. Right. So with that being said, I think that he can flourish from being in there. People would definitely appreciate the type of lyrics that he's making, and then like you can make all the chick songs as you want. No, it'll be. No, it wouldn't be frowned upon. I don't think. You think in the 80s a chick song would be frowned upon? No, because LL Cool J made that shit popular. Yeah, it had to be, but it had to be after LL though. He didn't start that in the 80s? No, I'm just saying LL had to take the blunt of that. Because even then people hate on LL for making I Need Love? That's what I'm saying. The people in the industry did, but that shit was selling. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. The women love that shit. Okay, well that's all that matters. Yeah, exactly. Right? And then that's the thing, like, when it comes to these conversations, you got to make sure that whoever was the forefront of it kind of has to still did it first. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, like they can still flourish. Gotcha. And then thinking about the 90s when it came to like the invention of boom bap. I mean, not boom bap, but the invention of backpack rap.
Mm-hmm.
Wale can definitely fall into that category.
Right.
So that's why I think Wale could be dropped off in those two eras. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure if he'll be, I think he'll be bigger. I think he'll be respected more. And more so like how people say, a lot of people say KRS is one of them dudes, but ain't nobody saying KRS is Mount Rushmore.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's no disrespect. You know what I'm saying? That's no disrespect.
I've never heard anybody say KRS-One should be on Mount Rushmore.
But KRS is one of them dudes, if you ask, especially the ones that grew up in the 80s on him, like he's one of them ones.
Right. Damn, man, that's facts. I like the Wale pick, and I think Wale would be better suited for the 90s. Okay. Like I feel you on the 80s too, especially with the whole poetry and the women shit. But I think yes, Wale is Poeticky. But I think his style of rap would have flourished more in the 90s, and I feel like he would have leaned more towards that in the 90s, especially with his type of sound. So, I really like that. And Wale's social media presence. Twitter started what 08?
Something like that.
08ish, and he was very, 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 very sensitive. And that was like toward him, really taking off, cause Wale was one of the last out of the big three to really have, or big four, or whatever, to really have like those radio singles. Like I think after that, the top tier, the Coles, the Kendricks, they didn't really. Like they had radio singles, but that's not what they went for. That's not what they went for. Wale was still going for the radio singles then.
He made like we talked about. He made a whole album full of like R&B infused rap, that type of joint. Yes, Jeremiah Denner on every song, like that type of stuff.
Yeah, and that I feel like that style of music would have been way better suited for mid to late 90s. Yeah. Maybe even to the early.
I think more. I think early before the boom of it came. And I'm talking about like the Shiny Suit Diddy stuff.
Oh yeah.
I think Wale would have flourished in that 92 to 96, like that time frame.
Yeah, man. Hey.
Like Wale definitely would have been a soul Aquarian. He definitely would have been in Common.
100%.
He definitely would have been in Common and Roots and Badu and D'Angelo. He definitely would have been.
He might have ended up having a baby by Badu too.
With Badu.
Hey yo. Then he would have changed his whole style again. That's funny. But no, true. Exactly. Damn, shout out to Wale. Definitely would have been better suited for a different era.
Okay. Now this is not controversial. This is Johnny's man's. I'm trolling when I say this, right? But I think Travis Scott would take a step back in power if I moved into a different era. But I think musically he'll still be okay. Now, we're going to move into the 90s as well, right?
Okay.
You get the infusion of punk rock and rap like this. Because punk rock was really big in the early 90s. You got Nirvana, you get all these 9 Inch Nails, you get all them guys, you get all those, right? Mm-hmm. And for somebody to be daring to move that to hip-hop at that time would be more of a pioneer, not necessarily as commercially big as he is now. Mm-hmm. So he would take a step back, but I think the music will still somewhat be there because I've never been to a Travis Scott show, so don't get me on that. But I have seen like his documentaries, I've seen like some of his stage shows. Very much like a rock star. Like mosh pits, stage diving, all that great stuff. I think that musically, Travis Scott probably would have made something similar to that type of music. Because what you go to Travis Scott for is not necessarily the greatest of bars or lyrics, right? But it's more of a vibe. And I think that you can create a vibe if you mash genres. If nobody looked at you as a rapper, but kind of looked at you in that lane with the punk rockers, I think it would have worked. But that's not to say he will be as big as a star. I definitely don't. I think he sacrifices being a star.
Oh, 100%.
At the time.
Like you said, he would have been able to do a lot of collaborations with those punk rockers, like and you said the 90s, right?
Yeah,
I'm thinking even early 2000s. Like you got Sum 41, you got Limp Bizkit, you got Linkin Park, like
Green Day, those
Green Day. He would have been able to collab with all of them. So I think I like you put him in the 90s, but I'm gonna put him in the early 2000s, like 2000 to 2007-ish.
I actually like that better than my answer.
Yeah, cause I like those collabs would be nuts. Like, and I fuck with Linkin Park, fuck with Limp Bizkit. Like Hybrid Theory just celebrated its 20th anniversary last year. Yeah. Like I fuck with that type of music. Sidebar. You remember Jay-Z and Linkin Park did they mashup shit? That shit was cool. Yeah, that shit was cool. I fuck with that. But I was about to say Travis Barker. Damn, what Travis Barker was in?
He was a drummer for
not Sum 41. Blink 182.
Yeah, he was a drummer.
Why did all of those bands have like numbers and shit in them? I don't know. But yeah, like he would have been able to collaborate with all of those types of bands and still make the type of music that he does.
And undoubtedly he'd probably be bigger if he came out there.
Yeah,
because the crossover would have been stupid.
The crossovers would have been stupid, and it would have inspired way more. You remember Travis Porter? Party like like I feel like it would have inspired more artists like that to come out and do that type of music. It would have been more collaborations between a Travis Porter and the other punk rockers as well. Yeah. Shit, Evanescence, Paramore, like all those types of groups would have been able to collaborate more with the hip hop artists. So.
And he would have been before Lil Wayne on that type of tip. Because Lil Wayne started doing a lot of he did stuff with American, like Fall Out Boy and stuff like that too. Yeah. So, and he even made a rock album, which, we don't talk about that much. Rightfully so. But
damn, I like them.
So, my last and final artist, my legend tier, my God tier. I'm actually going to take the guy, Christopher Wallace. Plug him out of the 90s. I was thinking like the mid-2000s for him. Okay. Now, the thing that you're going to lose with Biggie, him being at the forefront of rap the way that it was, right? There were big rappers before. You had Heavy D, you had Fat Boys, you had a lot of fat rappers before Big, but nobody was big though. Yeah. So you sacrifice being at the forefront of that, being like the king of that. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know who's coming after him. So you don't know how they market him. You don't know how the marketing is going. That's the thing. I want to see how Big fares in the mid-2000s, right? Now, that's the height of rap to us. I think that's the rap's golden age. If you want to be honest to me.
I think, but that just goes to show our age. Like,
that's rap's golden age to me. But, that's another story, right? I think that Big misses the 90s, so what does he bring to the 2000s? Where everybody says the 2000s lack, Big will bring the lyricism, he'll bring the storytelling. But I wonder what his songs would sound like. And undoubtedly, when New York doesn't have the crown of rap anymore, what does his song sound like? Because you're talking about after 50. So after 50, New York really doesn't have a sound to me.
Yeah, I feel like New York hasn't had
since 03.
Yeah, they haven't had a definitive sound on the East Coast, honestly. So.
Like you lose, like I don't know if Biggie loses his legendary status because he wasn't in the 90s, right? So, but he does. He definitely. I mean, it gets taken down a notch. You know what I'm saying? He's not looked at as the greatest rapper of all time.
So,
but I think the skill set,
the skill set is still.
I'm just talking about how people talk about him.
But I feel like. If we take Biggie out of the 90s and put him in, you said the early to mid or mid,
like that 2000 to like 2007 range. I wanted him to drop his debut. Like, what is that like?
I don't think it's a good look for him. I don't think it's a good look for Biggie, man. Like like everything that we love Biggie for. I feel like nobody's gonna care about it because the landscape of what. Hip hop was then was completely different. Even we had lyricists then, but think about a Ludacris and the type of shit that he brought, like the animatedness, all that type. Like Biggie's style of rap, I don't think would have been
But
as accepted then.
But I know, well, it's all about how you market it, right? Like, I mean, marketing plays, and then like it. Biggie made Puff made Big more of a star. Not to equate his skills, but it was the songs, right? The Juicy sample, like Hypnotize sample, all those samples, right? That were heavy for radio play, was kind of pioneering in the '90s, but in the 2000s, that's light for it.
It's different.
So I think Biggie had the type of flow, the type of charisma that still overpowers what we kind of glossed over of the lyrical rappers in the 2000s.
Okay.
Like, I still think he has it, but he may not be. I don't know if he'll still be looked at as
like up there, like top tier. Because I take Joel Ortiz as an example.
Yeah.
He was an up and coming rapper in the early 2000s. He had to deal with Dre and them. Like he had deals, but and from listening to his music, they told him that he needed to rap more like Biggie in order to be accepted more. Cause Joel is Joel got bars. Joel gonna bar you to death every song.
And the thing with that is, right, in the mid to 2000s, you start to get a lot of Biggie clones. So you get the Shine sounding that sounds like Biggie. People were rocking with it. And then he went to jail. So that's another story. Gorilla Black, they got him the fuck up out of here. Nobody was trying to listen to that
That's
shit.
true.
But I think Big had it's just something about Big. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe because I'm using the 2021 hindsight to have that conversation, I still feel like he'll still be, no pun intended, big. Because think about all the big rappers out in Big Pun, who else? Like, the ones that were like larger than life, like people just gravitated to him. You know what I'm saying? I think Big just had the personality for it. You know what I'm saying?
So even though Biggie had the lyricism and storytelling, he would have swagged his way into being.
And I think that's my argument because I feel like Big can still flourish despite what's going on around him, right? But either he'll adapt, and I think he's good at adapting because the thing is, Big worked with a lot of people when he was alive that you were like, oh, man, he worked with Bone Thugs, but look at the flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And you know what? Biggie might have been talking his shit in the bling bling era because that's what it. Okay,
this is post bling bling. This is post bling bling too. So you're right.
So now that I'm talking through this shit more, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm rocking with you on that. Like Big being able to swag this shit out, talk his big shit, being able to collab with different artists, not necessarily just on the East Coast as well. Like being able to collaborate with Southern, Midwest,
and Western
and West Coast and adapt his flow to whoever he's. All right,
that's my rock.
But just think about all the things he would have to do in order to be considered top tier, because he didn't have to do that much in the '90s.
Yeah. He didn't. And you know, being a martyr for hip hop helps a lot in your case. Nothing, and that's not to say Big wasn't great before before he was taken away.
He was immortalized at arguably the peak of his career. So
you died at the age of 24, right before your sophomore album, and it's called Life After Death. Arguably one of the best two disc albums in hip hop. People argue, it's not that good or whatever, but it's still a classic, widely regarded, right? Where two, dope disc albums are hard to pull off.
Facts.
So I would drop off Christopher Wallace in the mid 2000s. I think that he can benefit from rap being at its peak. Like, I mean, not to say rap, before the hip-hop is dead era, all that stuff, I think Big can find a way to swag in those records, get down there and collab with some Atlanta artists, get over there and work with some Cali people. Like, I think it works.
Imagine Big on some Atlanta shit. Man,
listen, Big had that type of flow, and he was that smart of a rapper. That's why I always give Big his credence. I always give him his just due, his adoration on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. After talking through it, I think I changed my stance on that. I think Big will be able to flourish in the 2000s. He would have to do a lot more, but I think he would have been able to.
Oh yeah. So those are our three artists. So we got Wale in the early 90s.
Well, I'm putting him early 2000s.
Early 2000s, okay. And then we got Travis with the early 2000s. And then we got Big, definitely like early mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Pretty much we don't put everybody in 2000s.
Right, look.
but I definitely put Wale in the 90s. Like I'll put him there. But I just think that some of the things that we laud all three of them for, because all of them are good to great artists, right? Depending on who you ask. I think they all sacrifice something, but they're still good to great.
Yeah, got you. That was dope, bro. And I appreciate you for holding me down.
No. Man, we gotta talk about that. That's always business, baby.
Alright, so listeners, we appreciate y'all for getting this far. If you're on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll rock with y'all next week. And if you're listening on audio,